We met a young Miss Marcia Brownlee Hunter near the market. We bought like practically everything she had, and she's planning on meeting us in the Cliff Catch Inn this evening.
Okay. That's good to remember because if I know I do a lot of talking in this, but if I miss anything, you're gonna have to remind me. See, because my since I hit my head, my short-term
Oh,
memory has not been very good.
oh.
It's just reading through my notes, but
Yeah, that was like the major thing that we did in town before we came back out. That was like arranging Marcia. She was going to scout out the other entrance to the
yeah, it's
thing,
coming
what are
back.
we calling it? Yeah. And then, but we have, and thankfully I made this list before the session ended last night or last week or last time. We're to sell some mushrooms and the ant head from the
Yep,
rot bag,
and
uh,
acid.
and acid.
And
I will add that on there.
I got that written down.
There is slings and hand axes that need to be purchased. Hammer needs to go back to tungsten, and um, Marcia is also bringing rabbits to the Cliff Catch Inn for us
Yes,
to have a dinner with.
and
Yes.
some for Madra.
Yes,
Hmm.
we'll check to make sure that Madrid got them.
Yeah. I need the sling is for me, and I need a long sword, right? Yes, those are things I need.
I was I wasn't sure about the longsword, but the sling was for you. Yes.
Yes.
Are you going Kensai then?
Yes.
I see.
I mean, Shadow Monk is pretty fun.
Is there a puddle nearby? I'm gonna splash in it.
Don't go off the edge of the cliff.
That's gonna be a 3.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
Sorry. Sorry, Kaylee watches a lot of meme videos. So, like, there's this one meme of like the people jumping into the puddle and like disappearing, and you hear like the brrrr sound from like the Mario game where like they go through like the warping portal. And so I just imagine him jumping into the portal and just vanishing, and it's just like what up, what up, what.
We haven't eaten in a long time, have we? Do I smell burning meats? Uh,
That's not what he asked. He wants burnt meat.
burning meat.
There are supposed to
Currently
be
on fire.
uh what is her name? Oh yeah, Olga is supposed to be making us something with the rabbits that Marcia.
Oh, all right.
Blacksmith and Cuthbert's.
Sure. Do we want anything from the general store right now?
It might be more selling things to the general store. Cuthbert might be the most interested in the ant head, although wasn't there his competition? Interrupt. We haven't been there. We haven't been there yet.
You think anybody sells jerky around here?
Probably.
You have some. I bought you some venison jerky.
You see half my mouth just full of this massive wad.
Tanith is gonna give Ragnarok her share of the jerky.
Thank you.
Do you feel that Cuthbert would feel a little hurt if we went to his competition with the fines?
Oh, he probably
Or-
would, but I do want to go by both.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Maybe these things are less arcane and more useful to interrupt then. Should we go to interrupt and then the blacksmith if you're looking for weapons, Lenore? Yes.
Yeah.
As long as one of them is going to buy them from us, I don't mind.
I think
Friendly rivalry.
Cuthbert first because he's going to pay us for the mushrooms, and so if we want money to spend at these other places, we need to get that money first.
Sure.
So Cuthbert first, and this is me going into Tanith mode. I was not trying to be snippy with. Sorry.
Cuthbert it is. I push his door open. Gentlemen, it makes a loud growling noise. Oh my. He kind of, his face softens a little bit and his chest goes out a little bit. Oh, you have? Glad we're making an impact. There's like a pause and maybe he like side eyes the rest of his group waiting for the Snickers or something. And then he's going to push forward. We have a few more delights for you, and not just mushrooms this time. Do you mind making some space? I will divest myself of 3 jars of rot bag ant acid, a rot bag ant head, 4 myrophage in 2 jars, and 9 other mushrooms in a single jar.
We killed it.
It went down almost easily. And kind of eyes Renault. I don't know how she's looking.
She's looking fine, but there's definitely some damage to her clothing.
Sure. You don't happen to have the gift of mending, do you? Uh, we have no use for the myrophage unless you have discovered one. These mushrooms, if you can tell me they're good to eat, we might have them for dinner. I don't believe we have need of the head, beyond looking pretty impressive on Rannoch's pauldron or something. I was wondering maybe if some of the jars of acid would be useful for getting through old doors and the like. Is that more effective than this? I would like you to do so. Very well. What would you be interested in? All of it? Including the common mushrooms? Or the non-myrophage? Very well. Oh. What do I get the sense that there was more of those more common, the 9 other mushrooms in there? There was more of those, and we just got a jar full. But sure, sure, but not above. There may be more where that came from then.
How much do you want to give us for it?
$45 gold. Okay. Hmm. Mhm. Well, common local to the tomb. A few more jars worth, perhaps. Myrophage? Was it about 10? Was it 20 gold-ish or something?
It was 20 last time. And he promised it's the same if we brought back more.
So 80 gold total. Very well. And the ant head? There is the rest of it down there. It was just more difficult to carry. Very well. And the 3 jars of acid? Perhaps with the proviso that if you find that it's particularly effective, maybe we get a jar back again? Okay. I'm willing to do that.
Yeah, how much?
Very well. 164 total.
Oh, they
I,
are we sorry, are we
you go.
splitting that?
I think so.
Okay.
I was just about to say, is everyone happy with selling
Yup.
coal? Stuff that we really have no use for about 164 gold.
Yeah.
Are you splitting it, C?
41 each. Wait, there's 4 of us? Yeah, 41 each.
Okay.
If it's 164 you said total.
Yes.
There.
Well, good business. I'm glad you find these finds so intriguing.
Yeah, Tanith is like kind of like, okay, this is awkward.
I'm not sure. Well, I'll take it if I need it, but probably yes.
Yeah. We all got sprayed at least once. Lenore and Ragnarok got it the worst.
I don't know if I got acided. I think I
Yeah,
was
you were
outside
out of
the
the
room.
door.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I didn't get the worst of it. I would definitely like backing him towards Lenore before myself.
Mhm.
Um, is there anything we haven't had the pleasure of meeting before now, Interop? Is there anything you may be able to offer us in our pursued quest? Or looking to Tanith, do we want any more healing potions than we already have?
Do we
Do-
have any healing potions, or is it
I
all on me? I think.
I have a potion of healing written down on my sheet. It might be the one mention of maybe we bought one between the group. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It was with the cartographer's kit and the pencils and the chalk and stuff.
Yeah, I think that I think I'm it. So if you guys are comfortable with that.
Well, as long as we have the potion to help you, then hopefully you can help us.
And she kind of nods.
Uh, we haven't come across anything that requires your trade yet. Hopefully, we may yet do. Perhaps tomorrow. We have a few other things, or later today. We have a few things to attend to. Can I ask, just in layman's terms, these myrophage mushrooms you are keen on, are you writing some sort of discourse on them, or do you believe them to have a use for the kingdom? Growth of it, or growth of someone who consumes it? I'm sure the agriculture industry would thank you for such a miracle. Of course. Well, if it all goes well, remember to credit us, and if it doesn't, perhaps leave our names off. And he gives him a smile. The hammer? I turn to the others. We concluded?
Yeah, yeah, we can go hit up Tungsten real quick.
Well,
And as the others kind of start to head out the door, Tanith's gonna turn back to Cuthbert and interrupt and kind of ask in what she hopes is low tones for the others not to be able to hear. It's like, do you have anything that can help someone sleep? Been having bad dreams of late? You happen to have any on you? Yeah. Just bad dreams. That so if I knew what it was, I wouldn't need. Sure. How much? And do you can yeah, have it tonight? The cliff catch, and Tanith will hand him a gold and then like turn and leave before it becomes too obvious that she's been in conversation for too long. Yes, so she'll just say the cliff catch and hand him a gold and turn around and leave.
Just before I would have left, I would have just said, perhaps don't display the head too brazenly, especially if Tungsten passes by this shop at all. I'm going to take that as you're going to be considerate. And he'll leave.
Yeah, Tanith will kind of lead the charge this time and come up and like put the shield on her back or whatever, and like take the hammer that's been on her belt loop or whatever, and hold it out for him and say, "I think you lost this." Yep, killed it real good. Popped it like a balloon. Thank you. Kenneth will kind of nod. Glad it's back. I'm glad it's back where it belongs. Well.
Oh.
Well, I think speaking of which, I think Lenore and my friend Renok wanted to see about getting some things done.
I need a long sword and a sling and some round, I guess, pellets or whatever. You do the little round pellets for him, though, right? I mean, okay. I wanted to stab my enemies. I mean, what else do you use a sword for? I don't really. You know what? You are the expert. Yes, dealer's choice.
I need sharp rock on stick.
Something X like, perhaps?
Yeah, yeah. Sharp rock on stick.
Did you want
Avon's just like nodding, like, mm-hmm.
did you want a hand axe, Andrew, or did you want a spear? Because you could throw either one.
Sharp rock on small stick.
Something that
Hand
can be
axe.
thrown. Excellent.
Mm.
Well
Uh,
then,
Yeah.
and how much will it cost? Um, I pay for my things. Oh, all right. Thank you.
Tanith grins.
Okay. Well, thank you. It's much appreciated.
I was curious if he was going to offer. Well, he seemed to be going, person to person. Anyway, sure.
Yeah. Mm, I'm good, like weapon wise, unless you feel like you can make me a nice shield. Yeah.
Are you capable of making the axe's return to Rannoch?
He loses things a lot.
I mean, what's a lot?
I mean, like, we have to remind, I mean, the reason you don't have hand axes now, she says.
Well, you have to go through tools.
Still, something that maybe could anchor them to him.
Or like
Something.
one of those tough ropes. A
Ah,
chain.
But
or
you.
magically. A chain might work if you're fine with that. He's asking sort of tungsten and excellent. I'll come back to you on mine. I'm sure something will come up. Ah,
No rush
very
on the
kind.
shield. Make sure that Renok and Lenore get their stuff first.
It's a useful hammer. Soldier of arms and armor.
Where it belongs. General store for sling time.
Eat burning meats.
Is it kind of getting late, or what is it? Okay. Right. Do we?
What were you saying, Dan?
I was just going to say, and after that, are we going? Are we going to swing by Interrupts to see if he has anything, as he seemed insistent that we do, or are we giving him a miss?
We
Okay,
could
he
do that in the
hasn't
morning, yeah.
finished. Right. Okay. I didn't know how long his business would take. So then, is it slinging home?
I think so.
Very well. Go general store then, I guess. Hello, Benius. Looks over to Lenore.
I need a sling and some ammunition, and I won't pay too much for it. And we're gonna look over and just kind of randomly point. I'll take that one. Um, Tungsten said rocks will do, so pebbles. Yes, pebbles. All right. How much?
However many
The
scoops you want. Is a scoop
I
a cup or a scoop?
I will take 2 scoops and the sling. Thank you.
I will take 2 scoops in the waffle cone. Thank you.
Do you have anything to
Correct.
store these in? Okay, I will take that. So that's 2 silver, 2 copper. All right.
Nope, I'm good.
And you. And you. Are the Badavins on the way to the Cliff Keep? tomb. We can always check them. We don't want to disturb them with dinner and whatever. We'll check in them on the way tomorrow. Right. Cliff Keep. That's it.
Marcia there? Tanith is gonna go ask Olga in like the most Tanith like way if they can have some of the rabbit stew since Marcia provided some rabbits, and to make sure that there's like bowls brought for Marcia too. She looks cold. Thanks. And she'll turn around and like turn around and walking away like before she has a chance to say my pleasure. Smoky. We set a lot of zombies on fire. I realize now that you wouldn't have the context to understand that I was trying to make a joke.
Absolutely. Concerning.
But somewhat makes sense, right? Since things are crawling up out of it and coming into town.
Did you see any activity while you were there? Good news. Smart move. Though it does seem like someone's organized if they bothered to build a hut over it.
Is it an old outhouse?
Hmm. Well, I'm not sure we found a place that's connected to such a pathway yet, but at least we have another option, or at least we'll know when we find it. Very kind.
We were gonna check on them, but We decided not to interrupt their dinner.
Good.
That's what they deserve. Indeed. You've done a good service for Trunham finding this entrance. Hopefully we can be more prepared in the future. I can attempt to persuade her if she wants. Sure. He's trying to coax the charitable nature. And we've enjoyed your spoils. This rabbit soup or stew is excellent. Cheers. Made better by excellent ingredients.
I mean, he does it to everybody, but he always means it.
Flattery is free. Although he will notice that you have noticed that. Do you laugh like you did
No.
there? I see. No, Tenneth didn't laugh.
Wait, no, because she was just like, yeah, he does it to everyone, but he always means it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There wouldn't be the giggle after. No.
Okay. Still, I think he
But
would look at you for the last bit.
there would be like a little curl
Mhm.
to the lip, but she's not a giggler. Yeah, we killed a lot of zombies that, hopefully won't be able to crawl up out of there now.
It was significant. Can't say for certain what proportion it was of what is in there, but it's a lot less than, well, it is less than when we started, so. And a few worse things than zombies as well.
Yeah, we killed the thing that took Tungsten's arm.
I mean, it wasn't an easy task by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, if you want to see its head, we gave it to Cuthbert. Or sold it to Cuthbert. It was really gross. Do you see what it did to Lenore's arm? And she points at where it's still kind of red and blistery. Yeah, rabbits don't spew acid. Last I checked.
I pray you don't.
I don't think you could eat those.
You probably could. They just probably be real nasty.
You'd have to be very careful.
Yeah.
That shit burns like hell.
Sure look that way.
I'll pull the sleeve back down. Sorry.
But you're tougher than that.
Yeah,
Tougher than a rot bag.
be right as rain after you nap a little.
Oh, it's gonna scar.
probably.
Does she say that in the way that she likes that concept?
I mean, a little bit, yeah.
I thought so.
But
Yeah. Uh, could I ask you, when you were out for rabbits or a deer or whatever, that you just keep an eye out? I'm not saying you have to go and check on it every day, but if you see any more activity or something, could you inform us, especially if it's anything non-zombie related? And if you do manage to get a deer or a hog or something a little larger, I'm sure Rannoch here would appreciate it. Owls and all, right, Rannoch? And he like nudges him.
Yes.
Did I disturb you from your stew, big boy?
Hello.
I'm kind of imagining he's like taking like bits of the stew and like holding it over like the fireplace behind him to make the meat burn before eating it. So like you got him like as he was like putting like the too hot meat in his mouth, and it was just kind of like trying not to like show that he like scalded his tongue. Yeah.
No, I'm just imagining like a bear totem barbarian raging, so he takes half skull damage from his hot meal.
It's like I would I would like to see your manager rage. uh but yeah, Rannoch, you like the awful and everything, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
although venison stew sounds wonderful.
that does sound good.
It's good.
Excellent.
You don't have to worry about getting rid of any of the bits. You can just give him to Rannoch. He'll take them off your hands.
Yeah, do you have like any intestines or like liver, maybe a kidney?
All of the deer and venison and Trunham are diesel. Run on diesel. Look, there's one now.
Peaceful deer.
I'm sure you could get him something like that, right? Excellent. Save you a little bit of time on the preparation. Maybe a few coin for us. They're really common around this area. Well, if we're all finished, I think I will retire from the night.
Tanith is gonna stay downstairs and drink until Interrupt shows up with her potion.
I'll drink with you.
All right.
I'm gonna.
Ooh.
I was gonna say I'd go upstairs and find that we all have individual rooms, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. His bed is still like made up, as if he hasn't slept there, and he will open up the little fine pouch at his side, and from something the size of a pint mug or something, a small opening of this small pouch, like a Tala, the dire wolf, will sort of leap out, enlarging as she goes. And I imagine she'll pad around this quite small room and then kind of do the curl up, leaving space to for him to lie across, lie against her, like he would on a tree or something.
Yo.
And he's gonna scratch her under the chin as he's like just lying back against her, and sorry I have to keep you cooked up so much, my dear. Don't know if this place is really one for one such as you. And he kind of like nuzzles into the fur a bit. She's like white furred and massive. And this room probably takes up most of it. And he's just gonna go to sleep.
Thank you, Olga. I suppose I should have asked this before, but in retrospect, I guess Tanith would have not been thinking of it at the time. But do I know or recognize what he is getting her? What interrupt, like the name of it? Oh, a nature check. She's aces at nature. It's gonna be bad. 7. Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure that he didn't just like offer her up like opium. Not that she knows with a 7. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Did he basically just give her double because she paid him double? Okay. Aw, she wasn't intending that. She was just trying to pay him because she didn't want to dig out 5 silver. Aw, okay. She was trying to tip him. Oh, yeah. Okay. Like, with this in hand, she's going to say goodnight to Renok and head upstairs and take her doses and go to bed. Awesome. Kenneth is super happy about that.
Can we tell, or is she stony faced as that?
Yeah, no, you could probably tell that she's feeling a lot like the day before. It was obvious that she did not sleep well because
Okay.
had the bags under her eyes and all that other fun shenanigans. And like today, like the dark circles are a lot better, and she's actually smiling whenever she comes down.
Okay.
Back to your usual charming self.
Hey, I said she's smiling.
I do the whole like woosh thing with Tala and like give her scritches and kind of play with her a little bit, and then back in the bag, I guess, and I'll go downstairs because I don't want to scare all of the locals by walking around with a giant direwolf. So Perky this morning, Tanith?
What was that? Sorry. What was that first word?
Perky this morning,
Oh,
Tanith?
yeah.
Burning the
Feeling
dead did you some good?
yeah, I'm feeling a lot better. I was actually able to get some sleep last night.
Oh, excellent. That always helps.
Yeah. It was
Hmm.
a little rough the night before.
Hmm. I'm sorry to hear that. And we didn't even burn a corridor of dead the night before. Let's see what.
No. I suppose we didn't, but and like I said, like last session, like you guys have probably been around whenever she's had like one of her nightmares before, since we had to like travel over land or whatever
Mhm.
to get here. They're not pleasant things for her. So,
But we
like
don't really know the details of
no,
it,
no, because you're
apart
too
from.
polite to ask. Lenore knows as much as she wants, or as much as she asked to know,
Sure.
and Rannoch probably, I don't know. I don't know what Rannoch thinks of it.
Too busy thinking about the insides of animals.
We all got our secrets.
Yeah.
Uh, shall we see what the tomb has in store for us today?
Yeah, let's go get Lenore's sword and Rannoch's axe. And unfortunately, you didn't ask for a bow because then you could have been like, and my bow.
Uh, I think he might have said the same thing about the sling. He's a blacksmith and not a Fletcher.
Yeah. I was just trying to make a Lord of the Rings joke.
No, I got it. I just imagined Tanith like making that joke. It's like, and there is like some sort of story that we're all familiar with in this world. Um, yes, unfortunately. I'm still mulling over what I might want from him. Not sure how good he is at decorative things. He seemed to like his weapons.
Maybe he could make something for Tala.
Maybe. I had considered it, but I'm not sure what. Okay,
Okay,
bye.
cool.
Awesome. Thanks.
Bye.
I'll be right back.
I'm gonna go grab me a drink.
Bye.
I'm back.
Bye.
Welcome
he's
back.
back again.
Oh no,
He
C is
is
back.
Tell your friend. He is back. He is back.
Hey Jade,
Yes.
did you hear that Sia's back?
Hey Dan,
Leo?
did you hear that C is back?
Oh my god.
You
I
guys tell a
know.
friend.
Yeah, you said friend singular, so I thought I'd choose.
Mhm.
Notice how Rob doesn't say anything. There's nobody friends.
He's right.
Sounds like someone's got to get a cool, potentially magic sword.
I
Very
know.
exciting.
How funny would it have been though if he was all like, "Okay, fine, it'll be 2,000 gold." Oh.
I was going to say, yeah, we don't have very much. Don't think we've got enough to buy even like 1+1 weapon right now.
I mean, we didn't steal his hammer. We totally could have stole his hammer.
It's true.
Exactly.
Used it to give ourselves extra limbs. I've just come across C shouting advice on D&D 5th edition group. Unconscious party members.
Well, I mean, that was like one of the first things I learned from you. It stuck with me.
Pass that knowledge on to the new generation.
I am. It's totally how I run Amrish Mina. It's like I'm like, it's better to to kill them to make sure they can't hurt you again.
Fun times.
Hmm.
We'll have to sack again one of these days.
Someday.
It feels like it has been so long.
This Friday, I hope. Right?
I hope so.
Yeah. It's been like a month, hasn't it?
Pretty close to it. But then again, we kind of knew that was coming.
Yeah, we did.
We did. It wasn't a surprise, but still. Getting the shakes.
You're getting the shake.
Getting
Calling
the
you
sack.
shaky. Oh
Mm.
no.
What I did get was Aperol, which is nice. I enjoy Aperol. Just realized my thing was wrong. The overlay.
Your hit points.
And my AC actually,
Mm.
because I'm 20 dex now.
Ooh.
I didn't update the thing.
Yeah, I had that same issue.
And I had 22 health rather than 44 health. I'm imagining the everyone going to sleep with Tala thing is a bit like Liam on talks with Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Just like whoosh, 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 whoosh. Gets his hot dad sweater out and
Is everybody back?
I mean,
Is
I'm
everybody
back.
I haven't heard from Andrew.
Oh no, he went for a pizza.
No.
Oh,
He's never living that down.
No, he's not. He derailed an entire one shot by going for pizza. You were. It was the first game we ever played together. Yeah. We fought some goblins on a ship. We met at a bar, fought some goblins on a ship, and that was it.
Yeah, because I think that was one of like the Horde of the Dragon Queen games that I couldn't make it to, so Chex ran a one shot
Yeah, I think
in
so,
its
yeah.
place.
Or it was just like a random one shot he ran.
No, I think it was because a regular group was not meeting. Because I remember being sad that I missed it. Even though Andrew went for a pizza for 45 minutes. Because you were
Pretty
like
sure-
Deep Nuts, right?
Hmm?
Wasn't that your character's name?
What?
These Nuts?
No, Newts.
Newt Sack.
Yep.
That's right. My apologies.
I would never be so brazen as to name a character D's nuts.
But Newt Sack.
Yep.
It's just the right level.
did you
Right.
have a sack full of newts?
Genitalia.
He was a
humor.
ranger, so he might have.
Maybe. These newts.
And we were like level 3, and I think Rob, you multi-classed
All three.
all 3.
I remember. Yeah, there was another one that I think you were in with me, Rob, but I could be wrong. It might have been somebody else. But like somebody like multi-class barbarian and rogue so that they could have sneak attack and whatever. It was like one of the first games I had with Dylan. And I remember he was like a ranger and spent like the entire time staying way the fuck out of everything and just shooting things. And then the barbarian, which I think was you, but I could be wrong, got like mind controlled. And I was just like, don't you have like that barbarian thing where they can't be mind controlled? Because you were like a berserker one, and you were all like, no, because that's at level 5. And I'm like, but we're level 5, and you're or like you're that's at level whatever. And I was just like, but we are level whatever. And you were like, yep, they're multi-class. Uh-huh. Yeah, because you have to have a finesse weapon in order to sneak attack.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got mind controlled by something, and we're like, that should be should be immune to it as a berserker. And you're like, yeah, but I multi-class as rogue, so I was I was a monk named Silence, and I stayed silent for all of 5 minutes.
Somebody else dumped Khan as a wizard in a one shot once.
Zane,
Yeah.
yeah, like why would you? Why would you?
Well, I mean, yes, why would you? But also, I think not as familiar with
Oh yeah, yeah. I think it was like his first wizard, but still,
or
I was
5e
yeah.
in general. But
I'm glad he didn't do that with his other wizard or his other sort with his sorcerer character. It's just a shame that he you know played that character. I'm sorry, is it too soon? Am I not allowed
no, it's fine. It's good.
to?
It's just painful memories.
Very painful. I totally had to fudge the dice for you guys that first session. BT dubs.
It happens.
'Cause, yeah, Sal should not have made it, or Sil should not have made it.
What's more important, the fidelity of the dice rolls or the people
Story that
having
gets
fun?
told.
Yep.
Mm-mm.
Go fuck yourself.
Because in that instance, it wasn't. It was a character, a player that basically was single-handedly trying to sabotage both ways, both storylines that they could have done, and
Yeah, that's and then she kills the entire party because she was allowed to live. That fight was awesome.
I'm here.
he's back. He's back. I heard him coming in, all like. say thank you, Ragnog, and Tanoth will elbow.
I'm gonna expect it a little bit and kind of pull on the chain a bit to see if it's good. Oh yes, very good rope. Good rope. Thank you. Ooh. Ooh, awesome.
Did he give me a Wakanda Captain America shield? Dope. Thank you. This looks very fine. Nicest shield I've ever had. Kenneth will nudge Lenore.
This is a fine weapon.
I haven't decided yet. If you're going to give a gift as fine as one of these, I want to make sure it's the right one. Slight nod.
Thank you for your time and your effort and skill. Yeah. Do we want to go the forest way, or do we want to continue on the path past the rot bag?
Can I get a scabbard real quick first? Or do you just want me to carry the sword? I'll just carry the sword.
I mean, did you have a sword before?
All right, fine. Well, I'll just carry it.
I'm sure we can get one started.
I'm sure. Do I have some like? I'm sure I have some like spare leather straps on me, right? I'm gonna like fasten like a leather strap for you real quick and just
All right.
really makeshift give you a belt real quick. Orc scabbard, there you go.
Thank you, friend.
So, Cliff Way or the Forest Way?
Forest Way. Always take the second choice. Second choice. Second choice.
I wonder how that works out for you in life, but I will try to remember that.
So far, I'm still alive.
He's got you there.
This means we were the second choice, though.
Very true. Um, I was going to suggest the other way, but if people wish to go the forest way, then I have nothing against that.
Mm. We
Yeah,
will should go see where it's at least. Might not be as dangerous, a
might.
descent, especially with the rain. It might be slippery on the cliffs.
I mean, I wouldn't want to let a slippery cliff get in the way of us.
Besides, you can let Thala out in the woods.
It had been my intention.
We have
Yeah.
plenty of like extra rope in case things get too slippery. We need to like climb something, right? Can't
Mm-hmm.
have enough
Yes,
rope. Okay, good.
we got you a climbing kit,
Oh, awesome.
if you remember.
Oh yeah, I suppose she didn't tell us. Yeah.
Uh, Let us go see if we can find her at a stall.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess. Are we keen to go?
Yeah, I mean, because we've
Seek
got
her
to
out?
find out where it is. So it's we really should have she really should have given us like a detailed instructions on how to get there last night because it kind of feels like she's just doing this now so that we have to pay her again to guide. I'm being negative.
She's
Never
really
mind.
good at getting money.
She might not ask for money. And we weren't too specific last night. Let's go find where she resides. And I'll wander off. I think that is the case, yes. We're an impulsive bunch, I guess you could say. Do you mind if we take the forest route today?
I mean, you told us that you found it, but you didn't exactly tell us where it was. So we don't know this place as well as you. So the directions you gave were kind of vague.
Are you good at drawing maps? Oh, me either. It's okay.
Oh,
You know, that's what I always say. Way too hard to make maps.
cartography is an art. And he knows that he's been drawing maps since we've started here. Rannoch might not have picked up on it. Um, oh, He's ready to draw the path as best he can. Should we set off? Do you need to do anything first? Excellent. When we get out of eyesight of town, I'll open up the little grey bag, and I will say, don't be alarmed. But I won't say about what, as this huge wolf, the size of a horse. Hello, darling. Thought you could do with stretching your legs. And he kind of like nuzzles the front of him.
Tanith is gonna steal some scratches from Thala as we're going through. I don't know what you mean. Shink, 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 shink. Tanith will nod in approval and then go about moving them out of the way.
Do we get the sense that we can find our way back on our own? Okay. We wouldn't want to impact your livelihood. Thank you for your assistance.
I mean, we did pay you for like an entire, like your entire catch for like a day, and then paid you for yesterday. So as long as you didn't like, waste it all, you should be fine for a day or two.
I mean, she has a boar or a deer to find us.
Yeah, we're gonna pay for that. We weren't like expecting that for free. Sorry.
Rannoch needs his offal. And wop, 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 wop.
Stone steps, not wooden steps. Gotcha.
Are they slippery with like funk, like algae or whatever? Okay.
Is it a squeeze? Is it a large trapdoor or?
It is difficult, but it's not
There.
too bad.
Okay. And there were
Like-
signs of the dead, I presume, that she put down from before?
Yeah. There's like that was more as you're approaching.
Okay.
Um,
Are there like I was just wondering like drag marks or movement or some sort of orderly,
there's footsteps,
non-zombie.
but they seem pretty random.
Okay. Right. Well, would you like me to go down and have a look?
I mean, we can all go down and look.
Oh, I didn't mean like just me by myself, like permanently. I
Oh.
was just going to like pop my head down and because of the vision and
Oh.
yes.
Yeah. Go for it.
All right.
Can I be cautious and
You may.
look for impediments and danger?
Almost as though you were investigating.
One could say. Investigation. That is a 13.
You find no traps or anything untoward, really, and you arrive at the bottom in one piece. You're in a small antechamber. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna ask, is there any rocks around?
There's a
Like
couple.
maybe down there or like before we
Yeah,
stepped in?
there's a fair amount of rubble.
A fair amount of rubble. Could I just like grab some rubble and as soon as we get down there, I'm just gonna chuck it down the hall if I can't see anything.
So when you get down there, you realize you're in a very small room. But you can still chuck it if you want.
Yep. If I can't see stuff, I'm gonna chuck rocks.
All right. The rocks hit the wall that is like 6 feet away from you.
Just a wall. Just a wall, guys.
Very
Thank
astute.
you.
We're in a small room, antechamber.
Yeah,
Is
so
there a door?
antechamber, and there's a door straight ahead of you that is made of like stone, and a door to the right of you that is made of stone.
Stone doors.
Two
What-
doors.
What kind, of, what
Interesting.
kind of locking mechanisms do they have on?
They don't appear to have locks of any kind, honestly.
Mm.
Though there are like handles to pull them open, made of like a really old, rusted kind of copper.
Are they completely identical? Is there any discerning features between the two of them at all?
None that you can see.
Can I go up and smell each one?
Yes, make me a perception check.
Alright. 19.
19 on one of the doors. You do smell like a faint kind of hint of the sickly, sweet, rotting smell.
There's death behind this door.
Not unexpected.
Yeah, but there's not death behind this door. Just death behind this door.
Very well. Which one would you like to go through first?
The
Do you
death
want to
smelling
go
door
the death
is
one or
the death one is to the right.
Choice. The second choice.
So the one to the right?
He said the death door or, and Tanith said the second choice.
Okay.
I'll go to open or try to open the non-death door.
Okay, so the non-death door, you pull it and it doesn't seem locked, but it seems stuck. And like
Can I make a strength a heave?
yeah, you can make athletics to try and open it. It's like you can hear parts of it like grating.
Yeah, even if I was like convinced that it probably would not open, I'd have to at least try a strength check. All right. Let's see here. That's 23.
So you, after a couple tugs, manage to wrench it and it crashes open, and like there's some kind of stone dust that like kind of falls down as you like through sheer force, just grate away the parts of the door that were.
Oh, must have been like a pebble in the hinge or something. Wasn't that bad? It's a bit so good.
Can I just like bend around the door, the side of the door, and look down the corridor?
Yeah. So the door beyond leads just into one room. It's a very, very small room, and you see there's like a couple patches of those glowing mushrooms sitting in the corner. But there's also, and more notably in the center of the room, a like body lying kind of back to you, sort of on its front, wearing this sort of like very dark robe armor combination that is sort of has mushrooms kind of growing over it, and like some of the fungus sort of creeping up it.
The bad stuff that we were using our face masks
You're not
for.
not that stuff, just more the general
Myrophage?
No,
Or-
more just general like harmless fungus that grows over
Okay.
time.
What? And that's the glowy mushrooms.
No, the glowing mushrooms are in the corner.
Okay. And this guy looks long dead, but not as gruesomely dead as the guard guy that we found.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's dark in the room, and he's turned away from you definitely. But
Okay.
the mushrooms and the state of his clothing give you the impression that he's for sure been dead for a long ass time.
Can I want to light the light bringer,
Okay.
so that it lights the room.
Yeah. So you kind of see like the side of his cheek as you're looking into the room, and it's pale white, but doesn't look rotted particularly.
And this black robe is similar to the picture in the hearth room.
No.
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 Okay.
Does
It's-
he look like a robe of the like old Earth type
No.
robe?
He's
Okay.
not wearing anything you recognize.
And this is just a dead end room.
Yeah. It's very small,
Going-
only like 10 feet by 10 feet.
Do you mind if I go in and look at the body, you guys?
Be careful.
Mask
I'll
up.
join you.
Oh.
Tanith is gonna carefully put her mask on, wait for Rannoch to put his mask on.
All right, so this goes there.
Yeah, and she'll like come over and help you tie it like down to make
Oh,
sure that
it
it
wasn't
feels
over
up.
the ears. Okay.
No, it needs to, mouth and nose, buddy. And then holding the light bringer out as like kind of a torch, like approach the body so can give it a once over.
Yeah, so as you look at it, it looks like the features are very sunken and skeletal. But not, like there's nothing there anymore kind of thing. Like it's still a bit, the skin is still intact. The nose hasn't rotted away, which doesn't seem to track with the extent of the fungus that's grown over it. But as you watch, there's no breathing or anything like that.
Can I search the body?
Okay. As soon as, the best words a Dungeon Master can say, as soon as you touch it, a hand grabs your wrist. And Liam, can you describe your character, please?
Oh shit, boy.
It is exactly as you see in the picture. Just the sunken features, the paleness, the darkness. The darkness seems to almost like come out from him a little bit, even though it's like completely dark where you are. There's the little bit of light, but it seems like the darkness kind of comes out from him a little bit. And he looks at you with these deep red eyes and just says, "You will die down here."
and I'm going to bring the Lightbringer down on his dome.
Liam, you brought that
You know,
back
I
up
did
like I
say
asked,
this
right?
wasn't the death room.
Because one, he grabbed me. Two, that's a threat. um,
I mean, just because he's not a
that's
good-looking
natural
lich.
20. I'm sorry, Liam.
I'll see you guys later. No, that's it.
Are you an actual undead? Because otherwise, this might hurt a lot more than it should.
Yeah, yeah,
He's an actual undead.
yeah. I think
Okay.
Revenants are undead, yeah?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Okay. So,
How many hit
Um,
points do you have?
how? So it's one. What does the mace do?
D8.
Yeah.
A
No.
Okay.
No, I
No.
think
A
it's
D-
I think it's a
1d6.
D6.
Okay,
yeah.
it's a D6, and then because he's an undead, it's an extra D6 on top of that, and because it was a crit, that's now 4d6.
Yep.
46 damage. Fucking hell.
4d6. Let me roll it.
You could kill me with this hit.
5,
Good, yes.
9, 10, plus
Oh,
3,
no, you can.
No,
4, 13 damage. You're being hit by a cleric, not a fighter, so. No, plus 4. Did I say plus 4? 14 points damage.
14, sorry.
Yeah, 14.
Oh, that's an extra one.
This Tans just goes, ah! It like cracks you across the dome. I'm sorry.
If you do that like 2 feet away from me, would I also be able to attack? I'm guessing I would walk. Just
Right.
saying.
Roll me initiative. Just Rannoch and Mortimer, please.
I got a 16.
16.
Oh. Okay.
Who has the highest dex?
Yeah.
I have plus
Oh.
2.
Oh no, you got it. No, you don't got it. Wait. No, I got a +2 on dex.
Oh, okay. Roll
Oh my
again.
God.
Roll again. Ah, that's more like it. 13.
I got a 15.
Okay, Rannoch.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to rage because friend started attacking. So
Okay.
much for
I
that.
think this guy grabbed me. What was I supposed to do?
Yeah, and I mean I can't let that happen. I mean that would just be rude. So
That would just be rude. Alright.
that's gonna be a 17 to hit.
Oh, yeah.
And then 11 points of damage.
Okay.
So just to get this clear, they came in, they tried to steal your stuff, and then when you tried to just ask them politely not to,
That's
They
not
both
what he
attacked
said.
you.
That is
That's
not
not
he
what
said.
happened.
That is not. We have witnesses.
There was a body. I had a light out. I walked in. I knelt down and was like, I'm going to search this guy because I thought he was a dead body. And then he grabs my hand and says, you're going to die down here.
Did
so,
you
of
just
course, he's going to
assume
get
his
cracked
death?
across the dome.
And I hear and something tried to kill friend. I must kill thing trying to kill friend.
Okay, Mortimer.
Mhm.
It's your go.
So I've just been cracked in the skull. Where did you hit me, Andrew?
Yeah, probably in school. Yeah.
Skull 2. So you drive your... It's a hammer, correct?
Yeah.
Drive the hammer into the back of my skull. There was an awful cracking sound, followed immediately by... What's your weapon, Andrew?
A hammer as well, I think.
Oh, you're both
You got a
mine
mace,
was
a
a
mace
mace.
from Tanith and a hammer from Andrew.
Oh, I got you. So it's like
From
fucking
Rannoch.
bongo drums. Clang, clang. I just like... He grabs the back of his head and he pulls his hand away and you can see it's kind of sunk in slightly.
Oh.
He puts a hand on the ground, stands to his full height of, let's say, 6 foot, because why not? And just kind of rubs the back of his head like... Not as bad as what killed me. Why are you here?
What the fuck?
What?
What the fuck?
Well, I mean, I'm still raging, so I mean,
Yeah, Tanith is just kind of like getting over like the initial shock, and you're not attacking. That's what the fuck.
An appropriate reaction, I imagine.
it must still be injured. Let's kill it.
It
Are
won't
you
last
guys
long.
okay in there?
The guy wasn't dead, or is dead. I'm not. I'm not.
It's a gray area.
I look
Is-
to like Lenore and then
It's a
like sort of
gray
Google.
area. Tanith says like uncomfortably.
Okay, I come round the edge of the door to see 6 foot tall. Do you look quite as gothic as you are on your photo there with skull
Absolutely.
armor?
Rudy
Right.
cunt.
Rudy cunt.
Because it's the beginning of my turn and I'm below half health, I gain 1 hit point according to my little sheet.
Okay.
Sorry, Karen.
I don't know if we're still in initiative particularly or not. I don't know.
I need as much health as I can get, Daniel.
No, I know. I'm not complaining about that. I just don't know when to act. So,
I'm ribbing you.
Yeah, so at the moment we're not in initiative anymore. That was just to see
Okay.
who won the race there.
There's a lot of dead around here, and there's a lot of people who want to kill the dead. You seem slightly smarter than the rest of them, but I wouldn't make any sudden moves.
My
Yeah,
power.
Tanith is like holding like her holy symbol, like considering trying to turn undead.
I have my hammer mid-swing.
I mean, the other
Try-
ones didn't talk to us, other than gurgling when we lit them on fire. Do we need to light this one on fire?
I'd rather you didn't.
I'm
You-
undecided. Do you want to explain yourself in the 3 seconds you have left before Rannoch's hammer impacts with your skull again?
I came here to seal the goddess away. 10 years ago, I was killed, but my powers have left me here to wander.
So you were just kind of taking a nap then.
Exactly.
I mean,
Cozy place. you
Until
are
I was
here.
very rudely awakened.
I was checking the dead body on the ground. That doesn't seem like it's that far out of like the realm of things to do, but like, dead bodies grabbing people, that's like way outside the pale. So I'm sorry that I hit you with my mace, but you kind of grabbed me first.
You shouldn't be here to begin with.
I'm not sorry.
We were sent here.
Yeah, we're here to make sure whatever is down below stays fucking down below.
The problem is it hasn't been. There's been incursions of the dead on the surface.
You think you could talk to your buddies and tell them to stand the fuck down?
They are no longer friends of mine.
Are you like a zombie or something?
I believe the term is revenant.
Never heard of it.
Is that a term we know?
Make me a religion check. Or Arcana. But you'll suck at Arcana, so.
That's good to get to look on then, is it?
17?
12 for me.
12.
Lenore, you've heard of it. And as far as you know, when a being of considerable power in the right areas dies, they're sometimes left to complete whatever their unfinished business was. The force of will keeps them from passing on, and they're left to remain as a husk with a singular purpose.
So you've got a bit of unfinished business, I take it.
I was brought down here to seal the goddess away.
And you fell. in that attempt?
The circumstances of my death are hazy.
Well, I mean, I happen to know that revenants usually are people who died, but for whatever reason, whatever powers they possess, they are tasked with completing that final mission, job, task, whatever. That is your singular purpose.
I believe that is correct.
What gifts do you hold that can delay death? Or put you
We
into whatever
find
stage
much
you're in?
I'm gonna finally rest my hammer down.
It's just this really slow swing you've been doing all of this time, and then you
And then finally
level
put it down and
Yeah.
kind of use it as like a cane and rest up against it.
Yeah.
I am going to. Where's the nearest wall where there's nothing?
Pretty much all the walls around you. They're only a few feet away.
I spin around and my hand is cloaked in flame as a firebolt shoots from my hand to hit the wall. I have always had these powers, but never known what to do with them.
Well,
Until I was tasked with coming down here to seal the goddess away.
And how'd that go for you again?
I'm not in the mood for pleasantries.
I'm not very pleasant.
I'm aware. He like rubs the back of his skull.
I mean, this seems rather unorthodox. I don't imagine the townsfolk are going to take too kindly to you unless you can clean up a little better than that. But if you can help, and
Why
you
are
want,
you down here?
what's
We
locked
I've
down
already
there?
told you like twice now. Did I hit you that hard?
You might have hit him that hard.
It is
I
entirely
mean, I
possible.
think I see a dip in his skull there. I might
Do
have
we
got
need to
a
write it
recent
down?
memory.
I can
Ah.
write it down for you, and then you can like look down at it and see we're here to keep the dead things from coming back up. And then
Maybe
you
if
don't
we
have to
say it
ask
real
that
slow.
question. You don't have to. He doesn't have to ask that question every 2 minutes.
Just say it real slow.
We are here
I think this is bordering on bullying.
I was gonna say, like, there's a lot of sass for having almost murdered someone again.
We could finish it.
He started.
Perk up a little bit. Oh,
He
All
started
right.
it.
So, who sent you?
oh, hey, that's a good question.
Right? It could be those other guys in that.
Let me check my notes.
Oh, you
So-
do
Gotta
have
know if
both.
he's
Oh,
the
you have
enemy
hit
of our
him.
enemy.
That was definitely out of character.
Yeah.
I know.
So it was you were part of a concerted effort. No one really sent you. You more all went to do it.
I
For
was
you,
part of a concerted effort and an excursion 10 years ago.
Is he wearing like clothes recognizable of like the kingdom that we were in, Kerala or otherwise?
nothing
Yes?
you recognize.
Nothing. No, right? You say 10 years ago.
Yes.
What? On what calendar? It doesn't have to make one up, but is he working off the same calendar as we are? Or is he definitely older than 10 years?
You don't know.
I'm trying to ascertain that without having to make up a
Um,
calendar.
I
but-
mean, it's
Oh,
hard
they
to
have a
tell.
hammer, correct?
Sorry?
Pardon?
They have. Oh no, they're looking for a hammer.
They've just got the hammer.
We've done the hammer. 10 years ago, on what calendar? If we're gonna go through this,
Yeah, who are you
where are
with?
you from?
Where am I from? Is that what you said?
Yeah, you can be from anywhere you like. This is just the only places this world has are Kerala and Trunham so far.
Okay. Let me go on Google Translate.
But you've said he is unrecognizable to us, so I'm trying to ascertain where from and how long ago he might actually have been here. So you could DM Fiat it, or I could ask him questions until he's got answers.
So, essentially, he isn't from anywhere nearby. He's very, very, very far away, and it was 10 years ago by the same calendar that everyone in the world uses.
Okay, so it was actually 10 years ago. He's not like from 1,000 years ago, and he
Yeah.
just thinks it's 10 years ago.
Correct.
Okay, that's
Did you come down with tungsten?
Yes, tungsten. Good man.
Yeah, he said everyone else oh. Suppose he was still right.
okay. Maybe we can get some answers from him next time we go to town. Well, if it's even a good thing to know that you're still alive. That'll be hard to explain.
I imagine so.
Okay.
How is he these days?
Better as of last night.
That is good to hear.
I think he took all your deaths rather hard. If you have a name,
Mortimer.
very well. Well, Mortimer, and he like kind of like looks to Lenore. I imagine he's sort of standing next to her in the doorway, kind of like this is very strange. And he kind of offers his hand, a little reluctantly. I'm Avel.
A pleasure. And he shakes it. Assuming that's what you're going for.
Yes. Just not every day he shakes hands with the dead. And it,
Not every day he shakes hands with the living.
no.
It's Lord.
We could use any assistance you have in knowing these tunnels. If you still have a purpose to see whatever it is in here locked up, then I think we have similar goals. And he's kind of like shaking your hand and then occasionally checking with Lenore, who seems to have information on what you might be.
I'm Lenore, I guess. Yeah, if you have knowledge, that will definitely be useful.
I have knowledge of the rooms below. A long, trapped corridor called the Terminus.
That sounds delightful.
Really? Because I didn't think that sounded delightful.
I assume that was sarcasm.
Avel just nods.
That's Rannoch. I'm Tanith. Sorry for cracking your skull, but you did
I'm not.
you did kind of grab me. I'm sure you know that it's, things tend to grab you down here. You don't wait to ask it questions. The closest you're gonna get to like a better apology than "I'm sorry," but that's what you're getting from her.
I mean, really, it was your fault.
Grab me.
100%.
Okay.
But in the future, we will probably not hit you unless you turn on
Don't
us.
don't grab me again. And like this time, like there's like it's not Tanith being funny. She's telling
Yeah,
you not to grab her ever again. Yeah.
Understood.
Right. Well, if you don't mind, and I'm going to like grab some of those glowing mushrooms to put in one of the recently cleared vials from the corner of the room, and then we'll move for the other door.
Very well.
How many glowy mushrooms do I get in a bottle?
You get. So there are 13 harvestable mushrooms. In a bottle, I'll say you can get about 4.
Can I give him the ones off of me?
So the ones off of you aren't mushrooms per se, they're more just like a creeping fungus.
Okay.
He should have 3 or 2 empty vials now. Right?
Two
Or three.
myrophage, one other mushrooms, all of which we've sold. So,
You have 3, so you can get 12 of them.
yep. I wasn't going to bother wasting a bottle on a single mushroom for now. I might have one or two other spare. I'm not sure if we ever said exactly how many specimens. Oh no, we did. Could I have decanted the acid, or did we leave it with them?
They gave you replacement jars
Okay,
upon
sweet.
your request.
Okay. That means I have 2 more left and 1 jar of
You
acid.
may as well take the mushroom, and then if you find something better, you can dump it out.
Sure.
So, the other door, unlike this one, opens very easily with minimal effort. And when you open it, it reveals a long corridor that sort of has like a slight downward slope to it. And you can kind of see that it's heading deeper, though maybe not quite as deep as the entrance. And you know you've been climbing since you entered the entrance, coming in the other way. But you head on through the corridor. Are you looking for traps or anything, Avon?
Yes, generally,
Yeah.
eyes.
I'll take another
He
investigation
made
here
me
then.
be guided as he does that.
Sweet.
Kind of gives him a little pat on the shoulder.
15.
15. You find no traps. And at the end of the door, you hear voices when you get close, whispering to each other. 2 people, it sounds like, having a relatively heated argument.
Do I recognize the voices?
You do not. You've been unable to leave that room as of yet.
So it comes to a single door end with voices on the other side.
Correct.
Am I able to understand the language or overhear them through wherever we are?
The voices are very muffled, but the impression you get from the conversation is that they're having a disagreement over how something works, some object or item, and they're kind of fighting over control of it. Not like angry at each other, just irritated.
Everyone ready?
Should I smash door open?
Can I see any danger to him smashing door open?
No, there's no traps on the door.
Okay,
Is that a go?
that's a go.
Boot open the door and it slams. It's like bang, bang, as it hits the wall on the other side. And you see 2 figures jump and look up at you in fear. Both are wearing the dark robes of the cult of the Old Earth and stare at you all before reaching into their coats and drawing daggers. And one of them gasps, "How did they get down here?" And the other one holds up his hand and begins casting a spell.
Oh, don't got time to think. Got one in the chest.
Let's
I'm
roll
if he start. Oh, okay. Initiative first.
initiative. Yeah, I'm not letting him actually cast a spell till his go.
Okay. Okay.
Ooh, that might be a while.
Guys, 17 for initiative again.
12, I think. 12.
I got
If
a
you
19.
didn't- I was gonna say if you didn't use the guidance for the traps, you can.
No, I did use the guidance.
Okay.
I still rolled poorly.
Okay.
I might be the smartest one in the party, but I still only have +1. Like,
Oh, that's what mine is.
I do have investigation as a skill, though.
Oh.
but not a very high skill. I got 19, which with a +8 makes me a little sad, but
Bugger.
it's something.
That would be a 10.
I got 21. I put it in the chat as well.
Saw that. Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's all good. Just as long as I get it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
How I get it isn't really an issue.
What she said.
I would agree with that. Okay, Mortimer, you're up first. Time to prove your worth.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what that power brought me back from the dead, but it's gonna regret it. Mortimer remains kind of near the back of the group. He raises his hand to his face, and when he like rips his hand away from his face, and the shadows that kind of surround him start like swirling until he's like completely encased in it, and then it snaps off of him as he suddenly has shadowy armor on as he casts mage armor.
Dope.
Ooh.
Is that your turn, sir?
Let me double check that I can't do anything with a bonus action.
Most bonus actions are like arcane spells or like teleporty stuff. You probably
Yeah,
don't.
have a look. Yep, that's all I do. Armored up, ready to not be hit. Hopefully.
Okay. So, Aval.
Can I get a layout of the room?
Yes. Sorry, I should have described it. So, there are two doors other than the one you came in. There's a door on your left and a door straight ahead behind the cultists. In the center of the room is a very tall shrine that looks kind of newly minted. It's made of this very dark black metal, and it's got lots of kind of badass spikes and twisting eldritch imagery in it. And it's symbolism that you've seen a lot before, Tanith. That's kind of classic Cult of the Old Earth stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they are kind of on the other side of it, about to come around and fuck up your days.
Okay, so they didn't call out for any extra help or anything. They were just kind of surprised.
Yeah.
So, and are all the doors closed? Like it doesn't look like there's more people coming.
That's correct.
Okay. I will like unsling the bow, knock an arrow, and I wouldn't do that if I were you. You may see a quick demise. We could talk this through.
Yeah. Tanith at like the side of these guys, like she would be like tense and like clutching like the mace with like like mixture between like fear and like murderous anger
Yeah.
Okay,
at these
but I have
fellows. But so she's probably not going to be talking to them. But yeah.
sure, but I have no idea of your relation to these guys, and you've
Yeah.
kept it all very secret. So
And the
he's
one,
just looking for information.
Mm-hmm.
the one preparing to cast the spell, kind of hisses back at you, and he says, "Death is meaningless to Banshee."
Interesting. So, a cult related to the god of this tomb. A confirmation, at least. Meaningless to her, but perhaps not to you. And he'll loose an arrow into his neck or something. So I will attempt to strike. That is 24.
Hits.
Excellent. Now for the schnook. 5, 7, 13 damage
13.
all up. So there's like a long, fine, feathered arrow sticking out of him somewhere, and Aval kind of like flourishing, getting another arrow. When you want to talk, just tell me.
Rannoch.
I want to smash.
Don't we all?
Yep. So
Took
that's
the words
going
right
to
out of my
be
mouth, Robert.
a 13 to hit.
13 hits.
Oh wow! All right. That's going to be a 12 points of damage.
Is this the same one that has an arrow out of him or not?
The one that was casting the spell.
So yes. Okay, he like stumbles back, kind of blood pouring from him. And kind of steadies himself and finishes casting his spell, closing his fist. And you can see there's this gigantic like cloud of black smoke that sort of rears up out of his hand, and as it pours from his body, it kind of forms into the shape of a very large spear as he casts spiritual weapon, and the weapon just stabs down at you. But it's an 11 to hit.
No.
And as you kind of step aside from that, he just charges in and tries to bury his dagger in your chest. A 14 to hit.
14 just doesn't do it.
And a 15 to hit.
That matches my AC.
Oh, sorry, 16 to hit, actually. Okay. So as he plunges this dagger kind of into your belly, you take 6 piercing damage.
Alright.
The other cultist who was a bit more surprised, like, kind of steps around, kind of circling towards Rannoch as well. And you can see him casting a spell, but the shadows kind of clutch to his stomach and his chest as he casts Shield of Faith and then tries to stab Rannoch again. That's going to be a dirty 20 to hit and a 19. They both hit, I assume. So that's going to be 5 piercing and 4 piercing. Andrew? I'm not sure he's here, so... Or he's at least muted. So, I will just make a note of that.
Oh, it's muted on this thing too.
Oh, no problem.
Oh, sorry.
But you got all that, yeah?
Yeah.
Sweet. And then it is Tanith's go.
What kind of DC would you give Tanith to be able to act in this round? Seeing like a bunch of cultists stabbing into one of her friends.
So she's probably like pretty paralyzed to begin with.
Yeah.
But I'll say, yeah, make me a wisdom save.
18 plus shenanigans. 6, 24.
Yeah, so you feel that like terror rise up in you at the abuse you suffered at the hands of these people. But then you see Rannoch just getting wailed on, and like that fear kind of boils away into burning anger.
Yes. So then she's going to run in screaming. Like Rannoch in his like rage yells, instead of casting spells or anything, she's going to come in and try and clobber the one that's the most hurt, or whichever one's closest, actually. With a 22 to hit.
22 hits.
And what does this stupid mace do? Sorry. It does 9 points of damage. Unless they're undead, and then I get an extra thing.
Sorry, which one were you hitting?
Whichever one was closer. So if the one that was more hurt was closest, or if the one that just Shield of Faith
Yeah,
was
the Shield of
closer,
Faith one is closer to
Okay.
you.
then that one.
Yeah.
9 points of damage.
Thank you. Is that
Unless
your
they're
turn?
undead. Yes, she's not thinking well enough to cast spells, so that's her go.
Lenore.
Just quick side note. What is that long sword? Is it any pluses to anything?
Yes, sorry, it is a +1 longsword.
All right, thank you.
And
All right, I will run in.
sorry,
Go ahead.
yeah, your shield.
Mhm.
If you make a melee attack, on your turn with your action, you can use your bonus action to attack with the shield.
Oh, well, then I'm doing that too.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I completely forgot to tell you, and that's a D6 piercing.
Okay, that will miss probably with a 10.
That is gonna miss, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Are the axes anything?
The axes return to you when you throw them.
Okay, cool.
All right, so I will run in and attack the one that I guess the one Tanith is attacking
Sure.
for a 25 to hit
Hits.
for 10 points of damage. I'm gonna pop him with an unarmed strike
Do it.
for a 20 to hit,
Yeah, it hits.
and that is 9 points of damage.
9. Alright. Both men are looking exceedingly rough. Like stumbling slightly, struggling to stay lucid. Mortimer. You are muted, Liam.
I was reading spells. That was actually my throat. Nah, you're right. Mortimer thrusts his hand out, and the shadows grow from his arm to his hand, and then the shadows reach out as like an elongating hand, and like gently caresses the face of one of the cultists as I cast Chill Touch.
Ooh, there's bows.
Natural 20. You dick.
Yes. Yes.
It's only 1d8, unfortunately. But hey, the chill of the grave. Where's my fucking d8? I perhaps should have gotten my dice out beforehand.
Maybe.
Where are you? I blame you, Corinne.
Oh, God.
I blame you for this.
My ears.
I also blame you for that one.
Oh, you got one.
But-
Yep.
But the crit? Do you not roll it multiple times?
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. We got an 8, so that's 9 altogether.
Yeah, see, there you
9.
go.
9 necrotic.
Okay.
That dice got you your crit, too.
Which one are you hitting?
The magical one.
They both cast a spell.
The one that did the spell first.
The spiritual weapon. Alright.
There you go, that's the one.
Ranok, the man attacking you freezes, like turns towards the chill touch, and then just his face like sinks and just like crumbles, and he falls back dead.
Dies in front of me. Awesome.
Ava.
Everyone's got a note that seemed like our friend just sucked the life force out of someone, and that doesn't seem on the
Your
up and up.
characters
But
are always so judgmental about necromancy, honestly.
Fucking assholes.
this dude's literally dead. Like, and we're here to kill dead things. I managed to stop them from killing him previously.
But I remember you being like, oh, I
Congratulations.
note that Ilya gets to control zombies whenever he wants.
You summoned back some awful abomination zombie dog. Like, I feel
Yeah.
someone should have had an
And it
issue
did
with that.
fucking work, yo.
I'm not sure that justifies the means. But anyway, that's like the path of evil.
It's the path of metal.
With the arrow knocked, I'm gonna like flank round to this guy and go
Do a slide.
do a slide. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna slide and talk to him while power sliding. Your friend is dead. Perhaps put down your arms and you may live.
He just screams like never, and just like swinging, slashing wildly, like a cornered beast.
Oh, why do you have to be so unreasonable?
So uncivilized.
That is 17.
That is a hit, sir.
Okay, I will Schnook a Dirk attack for 15 damage this time.
As your arrow puts the man down.
Right. I'm going to walk over to him and I'm going to pull the arrow out of him.
You're
While
gonna
he's
have to, like, yeah, because like you just killed the guy that was in front of Tanith. She's
Yes.
like still going to be like following the man down to the ground and like mashing him in the
repeatedly.
face
Okay.
with her hammer. Yeah,
I will
like screaming
Take-
and crying probably at this point.
take some steps and then kind of assess the situation. Tanith, I think he's dead. Tanith?
Hey, do one of them still have a ear in pretty good shape?
Yeah.
Not this one. That yeah. Like
Well, actually, then no,
Tanith,
neither of them, because the other one's head got all fucking grim.
Yeah, he got melted, so no.
Yeah.
Melted.
yeah.
Tanith?
So like yeah.
He's going to like get closer and closer until like he can stop you from swinging repeatedly.
Yeah, like she like finally, because I finally rolled like well enough on her wisdom. She's gonna like stop, kind of panting and like look back at you, kind of like a little wide-eyed.
Dear, I think he's dead.
And she'll kind of like push herself up and good.
You didn't attack the dead with that kind of vigor, but you attacked the living with it? Do you not like black robes?
They're the cult of the old earth.
That ring any bells?
Not to you.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure how detailed you explained this before, but I don't think it was very. Yes, we identified them as the cult, but that the only sentient life we've seen, and they may have answers.
You don't want any kind of answers that they've got. Whatever is going on here, they're responsible for.
Sure.
They're
That's potentially very true, but
they're the ones that did this. And she like points at her face and then like pulls down like part of her armor, and there's like more like slash marks and scars across like her chest. And that they're the and she'll like glance at Lenore. They're the ones that had me. They're why I have the nightmares.
I heard rumors and stories.
I wasn't really aware.
Well, she kind of she's shaking like a little bit, but like still like clutching like her mace, but like shaking.
I presume the people who sent you here weren't aware either that they were involved.
No, probably not.
Why?
She kind of like takes like a step away from like the bodies to kind of take a breath and
Yeah, I was gonna say, why not take a deep breath?
yeah, she's like
He's gonna try and pull out an arrow from one or two of them. I don't know if I can get an arrow. Or you want to, you rolled something, Rob? Or
Yeah, you can roll survival checks for me.
okay, I used 2. Uh, survival 16.
And
You want me to roll a d4 or something?
no. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry, my bad. Yeah, you can get them both back with that.
Okay, so he basically pulls an arrow from the guy that didn't get mashed by your frantic macing.
it's the name of my metal band.
Are you going to be okay to continue? Do you need a moment?
No, yeah, I'll be fine.
Are you sure?
I'll be fine.
I mean, we already have the charging lunatic slot filled in this party, but if
Yeah,
you want to join Rannoch up front,
just caught me off guard. I know we found the journal and everything, but it looked old. I didn't realize they were here, but if these two are here, there's probably going to be more of them.
I would bet.
We should keep going. Try and figure out what they're doing and stop them.
I think that's why we're here.
It might be good for us to get one of them alive to ask them what they're doing here.
If you can. There.
They do not sound entirely within their own right minds. Perhaps that is simply an effect of the cult.
Maybe, but I would like the chance to try and talk to them.
Quite the conversationalist, he says with a soft smile.
Sure. He turns to you. I like to think my words are as sharp as my weapons.
Avel's nice to everyone, Tanith says. And it's like a little vacant, but she's still a little shocked, but
There are monsters above the earth far scarier than those down here. I'm sorry you had to deal with them.
Are they bringing up something in you? Was this why you're here 10 years ago?
It is possible they are connected to the release of the goddess. I'm afraid I didn't make it terribly far in.
Not a problem.
I also doubt they've been here as long as I have.
No, not these individuals. The cult as a whole. I wondered maybe if they've been operating in the area.
Their names rings not a bell with me.
Okay. Can I look up at the twisted metal dark statue thing? Is there anything of worth on this at all?
On the statue, no, it's all one solid piece that's like wrought together. It's not even been welded, like it's been forged as is.
Okay. Anna, do you think you could break that? Deface it? I'm gonna have a look at like the corpses or something, see if there's
Rannoch,
any get
you
off.
can do it, but it's gonna take like a decent amount of time to get it to where it's like unrecognizable sort of thing.
Okay, I'm gonna stretch first.
does it look familiar at all to Tanith?
Yeah, like you've seen a
or
lot of
is
the
it
imagery in it. You've never seen this exact piece, but you've seen like a lot of the images and shapes
Yeah.
constructed as part of it.
I'll
Okay.
help him. I'll help him break it.
Okay.
I'll check the bodies while they're. I just wanted a little light defacing or something so it doesn't hold any power anymore.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be.
And I
in
think
pieces.
before we go into anything else with you guys looting bodies and defacing memorials, we'll call it there.
Yay!
Alright.
I'm sorry.